Hey beloved, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking my video and joining me on my corner of the interwebs. I'm so glad you found me. If you're new here, my name is Sally Rico and I do faith-based content on the YouTubes. You can follow me on my social media platforms. Everything is in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get right into this video. So in this video, we're answering more of your dilemmas from the DMs, right? And I do hope that you find the answers that you're looking for. I don't know everything, so think of me as the listening ear, big sister, whatever you want to call it, voice of reason, devil's advocate, just another opinion, because it is an opinion or advice that you're looking forward to, or something just to help you think about whatever it is you're going through. Okay, so here we go. Got pregnant when I was young. This DM is from a lady. Got pregnant when I was young. Baby daddy ghosted. I supported my baby by doing odd jobs here and there. Then started talking to a guy from church. He invited me over one time and everything was good until he started to become a bit physical. He ended up forcing himself on me. Told me to measure up to the next day. He didn't really ghost, but we weren't really talking to each other since that incident. Now I'm pregnant for him and he's denying. People at church are defending him, and I've been asked to leave. I'm so hurt and confused. Wow, that's a deep one. I'm so sorry you're going through that. Here's the thing. There's so much to unpack in this one. There's so much to unpack. First of all, kudos for you for getting out there, supporting your baby, even though baby daddy ghosted. You do, girl. You're doing well. You're doing good. You're a good mom, okay? And when you're writing this thing, I felt like, okay, at least you found someone. Maybe it's not gonna be too risque or too harsh. But then, wow, why do men do that? And by that I mean, why is it that the church always blames the female for getting pregnant? I mean, it takes two to tango. She didn't get pregnant by herself. There was there's always a man involved, because you need sperm and egg for baby to be fertilized. It just happens to be in the female's body that this child develops and grows into a human, right? Women don't have the luxury of hiding that thing, but men do. And then it's so sad that the church has to blame or shame her, yet there was a man involved in this thing. Why does the church do that? It's so irritating. Because, okay, first of all, I don't appreciate that he gets to get away with this thing. And I did ask her, how come she's not said anything? How come she hasn't called him out on this? And she's afraid to. That's understandable. She doesn't want the drama that's attached to it. She already has another child. She don't want to go through that whole mess again. And I totally get that. But more men should be called out for dumb stuff that they do, like having sex with women and then thinking that they can get away with it because they're not the ones getting pregnant. This thing irritates me because it kind of hits a bit close to home. But anyway, so what should she do? She's confused and hurt, and I understand. That's totally understandable. but this guy should be called out. And it doesn't help that, you see, the mere fact that the church is defending him, it means that the church knows, and they know one side of the story, and most likely they know his side of the story. Because I did ask, like, how is it? What do you mean the church is defending him? And she says he went around telling people that she's lying about this pregnancy, that it's not for her, for him, she's a promiscuous one, etc. Which, so I think the church has done a bad job in investigating and figuring out exactly what really happened, because there's a very many ways you can solve this. The most simple and the easy one is DNA. And these days with science and technology, you can still get to know before when the child is born. It takes longer, but it is possible. It's expensive, but it is possible. Then again, you can just go the old-fashioned way and wait 9 months and then do DNA after the child is born. But DNA is a thing. The only problem with that is 9 months have passed. Okay, there's 9 months of heartache and turmoil, and 9 months of trying to figure shit out. There's now 9 months of stigma. There's 9 months of rejection from the church, which is understandable why she's hurt, because the church of all people should be the ones trying to help her out and trying to figure out where to go from here. And men think they can get away with pregnancy. It comes back to bite you in the ass. It comes back. Don't be just going around over here sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry. Well, in your case, it would be Mary Magdalene and Jane and whoever, because you feel like you can hide that part of your life. It's gonna come back and bite you in the ass at some point. You can never escape that kind of sin, especially the one that you've impregnated a girl and then you're denying. Wow, children, you're denying a whole anyway. So here's there's another thing that she said here that I couldn't that just admits to his guilt, really, because she said he forced himself on her, and that, to me, plain, blank, and simple, that's just rape. That's easily rape. Again, there's ways you can go around this, but she doesn't want the drama. She just wants a helping hand, which is what I'm here to give. But there's someone out there who's probably going through a similar situation, not necessarily rape, but a similar situation where you find yourself, you have indulged in sexual activities and now you're pregnant, and now you're worrying about what will the church say, or what will society say, or etc. Let me tell you first, it's a long journey. There's a lot to come with that, but you have to keep your head up. My brother, who has indulged in this thing and you're denying, repent of your ways, is all I can say. I'm not a man, and I don't know what he probably is going through. I can assume, but that's just about it. But the thing she said here is forced himself and then told her to use a P2. P2, for those who don't know, is a type of contraceptive that's designed, ideally it was designed for rape victims, where you ingest, it's a pill, right? You ingest a pill so that it keeps you from getting pregnant, okay? But a lot of females abuse this pill because they want to still indulge in sexual activity without worrying about being pregnant, and P2 is over the counter and it's easy to accessible and get. So the fact that he told her to do this, to take the pill, the next day after he indulged in sex, means what exactly? He's guilty. And then now you deny. How? Please make it make sense, because it's not making sense to me. It really isn't making sense to me. But I digress. Now I think the whole thing about this issue with this lady is, first of all, you're a church folk, okay? This situation should have never happened. A situation where both of you are, whether you're in a relationship or not, and whether you're feeling each other or not, both of you should not be in a position where such should occur. But based on just the circumstances involved here, this dude was out for one thing and one thing only. It was never about the relationship. It was never about her. Whatever it is that he said to her was a lie. He just wanted sex, and he got what he wanted, because now he has the audacity to deny it. You get? That's the reality of this situation here. It was not two people who were in a relationship and one thing led to another. Nah. He wanted her for one thing, and he thought he could manipulate his way into it, and he got it. Okay? Unfortunate. But there's so many youth right now, we're finding ourselves in that situation where we're feeling this guy, genuinely feeling this guy, and he's feeling you, and things are good, but then you find yourself in a position where you want to give yourself physically so that you can maintain the relationship. This is a question, food for thought. Are there ways that you can indulge in a relationship? No, let me ask it this way. Can you maintain a relationship, a good, healthy relationship, without the physical? And by physical, I mean sex. Because the extreme part of you is going like, oh, no holding hands, no hugging, which to each his own. But here I'm talking about sex, because that seems to be the trend right now. For me to show love, or for me to show that I'm into you or I'm connected to this relationship, I have to give myself physically to you. Is there a way that the relationship can still last without that? Remove sex out of the table. Sex has become now a normal thing. It's like saying I love you now, because you say it so much to everybody without the genuine meaning behind it. It's like the way Kenyans do this a lot. I don't know about other countries, but everyone calls each other babe. My generation, babe. Everyone is babe. It's the same way. I don't know. Doesn't make sense. I feel like I'm rambling. But yeah, that was not the situation here. He wanted her for sex, he got it, and now, unfortunately, the consequences of his actions have come to bite him in the ass, and now he's doing everything in his power to deny it. I do not condone violence. But anyway, the thing that is also irritating about this is the church is protecting him and not her. I think I've said this before. Why? Just why? She's in more need. If you were to put it in a hierarchy or anything, she's in more need. Reminds me of that story in the Bible about that woman found in adultery, right? And by this, there's been preachers who say, who's used that sermon to preach against premarital sex, etc. And yeah, that's a great sermon, but they always forget that, you see, it's these Pharisees, other ones trapped this woman so they can trap Jesus. First of all, how did the Pharisees know there was such a thing going on? It was definitely an inside job. And what happened to the guy? It was the woman who was caught in adultery, not the guy. The guy was probably even standing there with a stone saying, "Stone, kill her." He was probably there. You never know. Such sad state of affairs. But baby girl, if you're listening to me, I hope you're doing well. because I did ask and she didn't respond. So if you're watching this, I really do hope you're doing well. DM me and let me know how you're doing, because if you need any help, I do have connections to resources that can help you, right? Anyone out there who is in need of motherhood help, that is specifically, just DM me. I will talk about it. I'll direct you to people who are in this business of helping such. But I do hope that you forgive yourself also for all that has happened. This isn't your fault. This situation isn't your fault. You thought you were getting into a new relationship with this guy, but it wasn't so. Also forgive yourself for your first baby daddy. Whatever situation, because we didn't talk about it, whatever situation that is, forgive yourself. Don't, it happened. It is what it is. You move, but you move and walk in faith and the glory of God. Don't stay in that box or thinking that you're worth nothing. You are. You're worth everything. And the right man is gonna come along and love you the way you deserve. So forget this guy. Unless he's willing to step up in terms of taking care of his responsibility and taking responsibility and admitting to his actions and taking care of it, great. For the sake of the child, that's great. But if he doesn't, don't force him. He won't. Just, that's another rabbit hole you don't want to go under. Right? That's my 2 cents. This next one is kind of sort of related. So, is it true that baby mamas never get over their baby daddies? I asked because of that story about a girl who would marry a guy because he asked her to stop talking to her baby daddy. So I asked what he was talking about, what story that is, and he sent me a link, which I saw on Facebook, about this female who, it was screenshots, right? This female is mad at her fiance for him asking her to stop talking to her baby daddy. And she was so rude about it. Oh my gosh. She was so rude about it. And I was like, here's the thing. Is that necessary? For real, was that really necessary? There's a situation people find themselves in a lot of times, right? Especially in these dynamics. Okay, here's the thing. Was she wrong? Yeah. Because she probably shot herself in the foot and lost a potentially good man that could have taken care of her and her child, regardless of whatever situation that she is in with the baby daddy. Okay? She didn't have to be rude about it. But then, for me, I feel like there's an underlying issue over there. That's why I think that this person asked that question, because she does seem like she's not over the baby daddy yet. For you to be defending him like that, there's nothing wrong being honorable and respectful towards the father of your child. There's nothing wrong, even though you're not in a relationship with that. That's just bare minimum. That's you being a nice person. Okay? You honoring the father of your child, because your child is watching everything that you do. So that's the least you can do in that situation. But the way you're defending this guy is like, what? Yeah. That raises a lot of questions to me. Fiance, again, I feel is wrong. For one thing, for just letting his ego take over. That's just it. Letting his ego take over. Is he wrong to question what relationship that is? Sure. In that situation, sure, because he probably has a reason to question. It's because of the way she's relating to with this man, with her baby daddy. That's why he's questioned in the first place. But his ego got the better of him in spite of everything, because he put his ego front, because he's looking at Mimi ndio dume. I am never going to raise. I'm never going to allow this guy. I'm like, dude, calm down. Relax, calm down. Baby daddy, where is he in all this? Why is he so quiet? Because I didn't see any information from this other guy. It's just two who are in a relationship. Even him also, if he's probably in a mix somewhere and somewhere and saw this thing and he's silent about it, even him, he has an ego problem. Because why would you be quiet? Now, given that you and this woman have this relationship and you have a child together and you decided to co-parent, no problem. But that co-parenting doesn't mean that this chick can't move on. Co-parenting doesn't mean even you can't move on. You know, the situations I've had that like a co-parenting situation where the man won't allow his baby mama to move on with another dude because of some fear that doesn't exist, non-existent fear. There's no way my child is gonna call this other dude dad. It's me. I'm like, first of all, calm down. Number two, why did you and baby mama break up? There's reasons. By the way, there's reasons, okay? But because it has happened, why are you putting her pending? She can't move on. She can't be loved by someone else apart from me. That's such a narcissistic stance. Number one. And for whatever the circumstance is, she should be allowed to be loved by someone else. Now, whoever it is, and this is for the dudes out there, because I'm speaking now as a mother, all right? If you decide to date a single mother, know that yes, you will set the tone of the relationship, because as a man, she will give you that space to lead. Yeah, you're the leader, you're the man. It's ordained, it's biblical, sawa. But understand, the way you're going to lead is not the way you will normally lead if the two of you are just single, you've come together. Nah, it's never going to be the same. Understand that from jump. It's never going to be the same. You are supposed to unfortunately, you are going to have to fit into her goals and her plan and her work, especially with the child. And it by the way, all factors considered, it depends on when you walked into this child's life. Okay, you're gonna do things the way she had set out. Now if the two of you sit down and have a conversation and say, okay, this is my plan and this is your plan, and come to a compromise, great, fantastic. But don't go there with your ego. I'm the man, do what I say. It's not gonna work. And that's perhaps maybe why she reacted the way she reacted, and that's why she was rude about it. But then again, her rudeness comes from a place of maybe she's just trauma, I guess. Maybe she's just retaliating to maybe even also how you asked her. Again, we don't know the whole story. Okay, there's two people fighting on the internet. We don't know the whole story. But then again, ladies, single moms, okay, specifically, if there's a man out there who's willing to love you and your child, despite the fact that you have this existing co-parenting relationship with this other man, why don't you allow him to do what he's meant to do? You're supposed to be the mediator. Your child is watching everything. No one is winning here. No one is winning. The person who's losing the most is the child. Because the child is going to come up with all sorts of trauma, talking in relationships and trying to figure themselves out. And then you're going to start causing, oh, this generation, yet you are the one who raised her like that. Them like that. The child is watching everything you do. It doesn't matter how young that child is. He or she, the child is going to remember. Okay? They're going to remember everything. You understand? If you have a perfectly good working co-parenting relationship with baby daddy, no problem. Help your fiance or whoever the man is in your relationship understand these guys have a good relationship. I mean, they are child and father, and the father wants to be in the child's life and he's doing what he's doing and it's good and no one is getting hurt. Okay, you and I are in a relationship, so the three of you need to sit down and work out, okay, how are we going to raise this child? Because it actually does take a village, so that all three parties are working. Because also this guy is going to have a girlfriend or a wife on the other side, right? And then you want to go and start baby mama drama on the other side. My friend, calm the hell down. The three of you should be working together for the benefit of the child, not putting your egos there because what? I don't know. Selfishness. I don't know. So to answer this question, sometimes yes, baby mamas don't get over the baby daddies because there's unfortunately this a small hope party that he's gonna come back, but it never happens. And you need to move on from that, number one. If you find yourself in a situation where you're dating a single mom, a baby mama, I don't want to call that, then that. Remove your ego from there. Baby mama, remove your ego from there. Baby dad, remove your ego from there. The child is the one who's benefiting from you guys having an amicable relationship with one another. You all don't have to like each other, but you guys just respect one another for the sake of the child. Okay? But I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. I'm actually curious for the men to tell me, would they date a single mother? I want to kill that stigma as much as possible. Why wouldn't you? Why would you? Why wouldn't you? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm looking forward to hearing your advice down in the comments for our two OPs over here. Especially the first one about this lady and her situation with the church and everything. Please be kind in the comments because there's a lot of you out there who are looking for grace and just word of encouragement. I hope this video is the kind of thing that helps you achieve that. Other than that, let's meet in the comments down below. Subscribe like I already mentioned, and I hope to see you guys soon in the next video. Until then, stay safe and God bless.